What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today we're coming at you with a Odd Eyes Ritual deck profile. It's been a while since I put up Odd Eyes Ritual on the channel, so let's jump into this deck profile and let's see what we're coming at you with. To start things off, we're running 3 of our Odd Eyes Revolution. This is just a very fast card that you want to get to. You want to see this card very fast, that way you can start searching into your deck, get all your Dragon Pendulum monsters to your hand as fast as possible. Running 3 of the main card that you want to see as fast as possible, the Odd Eyes Art Pendulum Dragon. This is like the main staple for the deck. You want to have this as your high scale setup at all times as much as possible, and being able to do that is very easily be able to search it out about many different cards out of the deck. Very good card. I'm also running the 1 Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. Just want another extra level 7, that way we can meet 3 requirements for the level 7 ritual as fast as possible. And also, to push come to shove, you can search out your 1500 or lower pendulum monsters at the end phase. So that's very good too. Also running 2 of the Odd Eyes Persona. Persona is just going to make sure we can get those extra deck monster negates, and that's the main thing we want to do. We don't want our opponent being able to get too many extra deck monsters out there and getting those crazy effects going, so we want to get those negated out. Also running the 1 Odd Eyes Mirage, our mascot. This card is just making sure that we can get a little bit of extra barrier defense, and also it's a very good normal summon and searchable normal summon. We're also running the 1 Performapal Dissolver and the Performapal Synchron. This is just making sure that we can go into our Synchro and Fusion plays for whatever extra cards that we need to put on the field, just making sure they make it a little bit harder on our opponent. We're also running 3 Magical Abductor. This is just something to help get an extra search out of the deck. It's a little bit slower of a search, but being able to get that extra search does make a big difference in the plays that you can make. We're also running the 3 Chronograph Sorcerer and the 1 Time Gazer. This is just a very searchable way to get a free special summon onto the field. Also too, if one of your cards gets destroyed, being able to special summon Chronograph Sorcerer and another monster makes it very easy to keep monsters on the board, so I like that a lot. We're also running the 2 Supreme King Darkworm and the 1 Gate Zero. This is just being able to make sure you get that search. That extra search does make a difference. I didn't want to run it 3 in this specific build just because I want to be able to make the requirements for the ritual as much as possible without having extra monsters to do it. I want to just be able to hit it with 1 monster and that's it. Also running the 1 Chaos Emperor. I feel that this should be in about almost every Odd Eyes build that there is, considering you run a Lord of Darkness, other dark things that get banished out. Be able to get those monsters back is very easily. Also too, this sneaks out of the extra deck very easily too. You're going to be able to get the requirements of Light and Dark into the graveyard very easily, so I think this is a good option for Odd Eyes. And lastly for the deck, I'm running 1 Odd Eyes Gravity and 1 Cerberus. I chose these 2 because Gravity is just very good for making sure that you can bounce your opponent's back row, and also too, it's going to make your opponent have to pay a cost for every time they activate a card, and that can be very problematic for them. Cerberus being able to make sure that if your opponent tries to target one of your monsters, you can ditch it to the graveyard. And the thing that I like the most about the Odd Eyes Gravity Ritual is the fact is that you can bring back these monsters out of the graveyard by ritual summoning. So I like that a lot. So if you pitch it, still bring it back out of the graveyard with a special summon to the field, you're going to be able to, if your opponent special summons a monster, you can negate that special summon and banish out the monsters, and it comes back to your hand so you can use it as a hand trap again. So these are reasons why I like these 2 right here. They are able to keep recurring themselves back out of the graveyard and keep using their effects over and over again, and that really helps with the stall game for the deck, so I like that a lot. And that's it for our monsters. For our spell cards, I'm running 2 Odd Eyes Advent. Odd Eyes Advent is a very good ritual card. Like I said, you can ritual summon out of the graveyard, and that's something that's very cool. If your opponent has 2 or more monsters and you have pendulum monsters in your extra deck, you can ritual summon out of the extra deck. By using the materials out of the extra deck, you can ritual summon It's very, very crucial. The main thing that you got to remember is you have to use pendulum monsters to do the ritual summon. It requires pendulum monsters, so that's something that you got to keep in mind whenever you're making your ritual summon. But this card, allowing them to be able to ritual summon out of the hand or out of the graveyard, makes it so it's very good for the deck. Very flexible. Also running 3 Allure Darkness. Allure Darkness is just, in my opinion, staple for Odd Eyes. You got plenty of dark monsters. Just being able to get 2 cards deeper into the deck helps out a lot. Speaking of that, we're running the 1 Sacred Sword 7 stars. Like I said, you're running the rituals. You can banish the rituals out and get them back, so that's very helpful to you also. So just make sure that you can just get to that level 7, search through the deck whenever you get the requirements, keep drawing, get the requirements that you need for your other plays. Also running 3, in my opinion, the best searcher in the game. You got Spiral Flame. Search out any of your level 7s, your Odd Eyes level 7, excuse me. And also too, if you got Odd Eyes on the field, being able to pop a card on the field is very helpful and useful. We want to also make sure we get to that Art Pendulum as fast as possible, so we still got this 2 Summoners Art, be able to get to it very fast. And also too, the 1 Duelist Alliance, to be able to search out either our Odd Eyes Art Pendulum or our Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. It's very helpful. We're also running 1 Preparation Rites, just to be able to get to whatever monster you need, ritual monster you might need out of the deck at the moment in time. Also too, if you've already used one of the ritual spell cards, being able to get it back can be helpful too. We're also running the 1 Terraforming, along with the 3 Sky Iris. This is very much staple for the deck. You want to run this at 3. A lot of people feel that it bricks, but you'd rather brick with this than not. Because if you see this card, you're at least going to get another search. And a lot of times, if your opponent destroys it, you want to have a backup. We're also running the 1 Dragon Shrine and the 1 Foolish Burial. This is just to be able to make sure we get whatever materials we need to the graveyard. Usually it's going to be our Dark Worm, but if we don't want to put the Dark Worm in there, and we want to put the rituals in there, save them up for later, you can do that also. And lastly, for the spells, we're running the 1 Called by the Grave. This is just to make sure we got an extra way to banish out some cards that can be problematic for us. So also too, if you get eaten by some hand traps, we can get an extra block on that. But that's it for the main deck. For the extra deck, we're running the 1 Starving Venom and 2 Odd Eyes Vortex. Venom just make sure that we're able to make it so that if your opponent gets a little too heavy over there, you got a lot of special summon monsters, destroy this card, get it destroyed, and just making sure that we can wipe their field best we can, set up another board for ourselves. Vortex is just Vortex, being able to get that bounce in the gates, very crucial. We're also running the Supreme King Dragon Clearwing, the Odd Eyes Meteor Burst, the FA Dawn Dragster, and the 1 Herald of the Arclight. Clearwing, we're doing it just make sure we get those board wipes. That's the main thing we want to do. Meteor Burst, just hating on extra deck, hating on the battle phase, and also being able to special summon out of the pen scale to extend our plays, very helpful. The Dawn Dragster, just being able to, like I said, if your opponent's having to pay for life points or to play cards, Dawn Dragster is just another good negate, making sure that they're going to have to go a little bit further. That also goes the same thing with Herald of the Arclight. And also too, whenever this gets sent off, being able to make sure that we can get a ritual out of the hand, or to the hand. And also too, being a Macrocosmo also is very helpful also. We're also running the Odd Eyes Absolute, the Red Eyes Flare Metal, Supreme King Rebellion, and the 1 Abyss Dweller. Absolute has too many pluses to it. I really like it a lot. Whenever sent to the graveyard, just automatically getting one of your Odd Eyes out of the extra deck. Also too, in the battle phase, you can get a negate, especially some of the Odd Eyes out of the graveyard. Could be also very helpful. The Red Eyes Flare in combination with the Gravity helps it make so that your opponent really has to pay a really life point cost. Also too, not being able to be destroyed by card effects is very helpful. The Rebellion, making sure we can get over about almost any card out there, very helpful. And the Abyss Dweller, just be able to lock down those graveyard effects, which sometimes can be very, very helpful because there's a lot of graveyard effects running around. We're also running the Dragon Balls, Cross Sheet, Appaloosa Bow of the Goddess, and the Borload Dragon. We gotta make our wishes and make things come true. Get that bounce, get that free special summon. Frost Chief's just an all-around good generic. Also too, in this build it's very helpful because we get to get all the access to either draw 2, discard, get the increased life points, decreased life points, or either get that special summon back out of the graveyard. So it's very helpful to have it in this build. Appaloosa, just making sure that we can get plenty of negates on board. Because monster negates is very helpful to be able to slow them down. And Borload, if we got problematic cards that we have to, really come over, we can do that. But that's it for this deck profile, guys. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Let us know what you think. Any suggestions or comments. Also, too, if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. You can find it right down there. Also, too, if you like the video, be sure to gun that like button. Thanks, guys, for all your love and support. We're out.